Now, maybe you want to do something a little more specific, a little more risky, a little more fun, and a little more frivolous that is financially related, and it is giving shares of stock to someone. And I say it's frivolous. It doesn't have to be frivolous, but let's say that you know that that Tesla's had a crazy year, right? You know Apple's had a crazy year. You know a lot of companies have had really, really wild rides upward, and maybe you just buy something for somebody on a whim, speculatively, and you want to give it to them. Well, guess what? You can actually do that. You can buy financial securities for other people and gift them to that person. And it is in a similar way to how you would gift money to a person, but you can gift specific securities as well. And it doesn't have to be a frivolous, speculative thing either. It can be specific ETFs, mutual funds, things like that. But we're going to talk a bit about specific shares of stock and how that can be useful, and how specific ETFs can be used, and that be useful to individuals as well. And obviously, you don't have to do this for just a child, like we were talking about gifting children money a moment ago. This isn't just for children. You can do this for adults as well, and that's kind of where all of this comes in. You can help try to set somebody else up well for their future. Or if you are leaving somebody an early inheritance, or if you are just trying to bless your children or grandchildren or whatever it may be, this may be a way in which you do that this holiday season. And so one particular way that you can do this is through certain services and businesses that do this type of thing for people. One is called Give a Share, right? Give a Share is a company, and they specialize in share gifting and receipts that will give you actually an authentic stock certificate that you can have framed and that you can give somebody as the memento for the gift, instead of just saying, hey, I bought you the share of stock here, whatever. You can actually have something specific that they can unwrap and see. And that would be kind of cool as a Christmas gift for an individual. And then there's also a company called Stockpile, and they offer single stocks and gift cards, which allow the recipients to choose their own stock. And so you could buy a gift card for an individual to go onto a site like Stockpile and buy their own stocks. And then obviously there are several sites, several sites to where you don't really have to do anything at all. You just have to refer the individual, and the individual will receive shares of stock. And a lot of times you will also receive shares of stock for just referring the individual to the site. But if you really want to be really meticulous about how you go about doing this, and you want to do it in a bit more of a legit way, then just kind of follow these next few guidelines that I have for you. So there's really only three options that you have, and I've talked about the first two. The first two are you purchase a stock specifically for a child, which can be done within a custodial account. And I said you can also buy mutual funds, ETFs, things like that. And that would be like the UTMA or UGMA, or even the college savings account, something like that that you can do for a child. And then you can also give a stock with an app. That's what I just got done talking about. But then you can give stock from an existing investment account. So you would obviously need to contact your broker. You would need to contact the brokerage house that you use. Again, the Vanguards, Fidelities, Charles Schwab, whoever you use, you would need to talk to them about doing this, but it absolutely can be done. And when you're doing this, obviously you need to keep in mind the gift tax thresholds of $15,000 per person per year, just like with giving money. That is the exact same way, or just like putting money into a 529 for a child is the exact same way. So what you really want to make sure that you do is make sure that the person that you are trying to gift the stock to has an investment account that is already open for themselves. You have your investment account open, and both of your brokers will allow you to do this. Now, there may be some specific things regarding the tax treatment of accounts that may hold you back, but I believe if they are just both taxable investment accounts, you shouldn't run into much of an issue. But if you have a Roth IRA, but they just have this taxable brokerage account, or you have a taxable brokerage account and they open a traditional IRA, or any type of non-parallel tax treatment between the two types of accounts, then you could run into some issues. But otherwise, you should be able to gift it in the same way that you would gift some money or a sum of money to an individual. Now, there should be no taxes to you if you keep it under the gift tax threshold, and the only taxes to them will be on any realized gains that they get from owning the stock moving forward. And other than that, you should be pretty good. All of this that I'm talking about here, though, gifting stock, gifting people 529s, UTMAs, or things like this, or giving them stock over an app, and doing the little fun things like having the stock certificate that's certified and that's really cool to open and things like that. All of this is so we can do one thing, so we can help people push towards financial freedom. And in doing so, we're also pushing people towards greater financial literacy. And so I really like this idea of being able to give financial securities to other people and be able to help people along in their financial life if they are receptive to take that gift. I really, really like that as a thing that you can do in a way that it can be kind of fun. If you gift somebody a stock and, maybe they come back to you next Christmas and go, oh, that stock increased by, 67% this year. It had a great year, fantastic year. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. All this type of stuff, right? You could really have fun with this. And that's what I really want you to do. And that's what you should be doing when you are giving anyway. Have fun. Whether it is giving somebody a gift card, giving somebody money, giving somebody a financial security like a share of stock, have fun with it. You want to have fun with it, and you want to make sure that the person understands why you're doing it, why you're trying to help them out, why you're trying to do these particular things for them, especially if it's money directly or a financial security. They should understand that. And if it's a financial security, it also works as a great building block into other conversations with that person. Hey, do you do a budget every month? Hey, do you have any debt? Do you have things like, if that person is not somebody who you already actively talk to about these things. Or if it's a child, then you can help the child to learn, hey, this is why a share of stock goes up in value. This is why an ETF goes up in value, or a mutual fund increases in value. This is what this account is for. This account is for your college education. This account is for when you're 18 years old, you can receive this money and be able to use it for things that you need. And it's just such a great learning opportunity to give. To give to others a lot of times gives you a specific point of influence and a reason to speak into that person's life. And if you can speak into people's financial lives and do it in a way that is fun, that is helpful, that is interesting, and that will help them push forward, and they see that, and they see that you really care and enjoy what you're doing for them, then I think we can all make a lot of headway as a country, as a world race, to go and be more financially free and to live in a way that is without debt, that is with assets that we own that are increasing in value, like shares of stock, where we have emergency funds, where we own our houses, where we can do all of these things. And the end of a year, pushing into a new year, is a great time to begin those conversations. It's a great time to do something by gifting money or financial securities to someone to where they can start asking those questions, or to where you can bring up the conversation, and things can really get kicked off from there, and hopefully pique somebody's interest in their own personal finances and pique their interest in becoming financially literate over the long term.